Hey everybody, we're back. Lisa and Todd. Todd and Lisa.
I'm Todd.
So, we're tired, that's what we are. So this happened today.
Holy schmoly, people. We're actually moving to Tucson. We can get everything in our house in that, right? Whoa. Ooh, inches.
So I guess we're serious about this.
So today we decided, well actually it's nighttime, 7 days, people, 7 days until we leave this place, this house that's been ours for 25 years. 7 days. Lots of crazy things have been happening, and I think we're done mostly with our house projects, right?
Mostly.
Our reno projects. Getting the house the way we want it, the way we've always wanted it, but
Just in time to leave.
just in time to leave. And like my new pantry, that was my Christmas present last year, but we just got it done, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
It's all good. So we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons why we decided to go on this crazy adventure.
Why do we want to go on this crazy adventure?
We've always wanted, well, I like the crazy adventure. You don't like the crazy adventure. You're not good with crazy or adventure.
I'm okay with adventure.
Just
I could
not
do
crazy.
without the crazy.
You shouldn't have married me then. That's all I have to say. So, okay. So we've got 10 reasons. And these are in order of, we're going to finish with the biggest reason. So number 10 is remote living, which is pretty much like 25 some years ago when we were out there the first time.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed at it wasn't called a Verbo back then. It was just a guest house. I guess Verbos and Airbnbs weren't in fashion quite back then, but it was a guest house, and it was west of Gates Pass, which is west of Tucson proper, and it was out in the Sonoran Desert. And back then, 25 years ago, there was nothing out there. Now that's just crazy. There's Tucson Estates, there's Drexel Heights, there's Avra Valley is just, it's exploded.
It's all built up.
It's all, yeah. And they're talking about putting I-10, like is it I-10 running through?
Another highway.
Another highway west of the mountain pass. So that's going to be crazy. But anyway, back then it was remote, so we really liked it. And so we decided we wanted to kind of continue with that. And we found some property, so we are now officially 45 minutes outside of Tucson, west of Tucson, in the foothills, called, what's it called?
Hayhook Ranch.
Hayhook Ranch. And it's Coyote Mountains Wilderness area, so it is going to be remote. There are people that live out there, but we are few and far between. So then, number 9.
Number 9 is, and I'm crossing my fingers on this one. No grass.
You have retired your lawnmower, whether you want to or not.
I am leaving my lawnmower behind and moving on without it, hoping that I won't be getting another one. But I have to say, when we were talking with the owner of the house that we bought and looking at pictures, She had a lawnmower on her front porch.
Because of the grickle grass.
Yeah.
She has to tame the grickle grass.
Well, that's still mowing.
I know.
Maybe once a year, but it's still mowing.
She made it sound like it was more than once a year.
Oh, that's too bad. She also made it sound like she had a riding mower, which would also be too bad.
Well, we're going to just get rid of the grickle grass.
But anyway, that's our hope.
Yeah.
So, number 8.
Number 8, the culture, obviously. I mean, the Southwest culture is something I've always liked for a way long time. So, yeah, I mean, you can't beat the culture. There's not a whole lot to say because when you say Southwest, you automatically think of the culture. So, yeah.
Number 7. Huh?
You're looking at your list, you're cheating.
I don't have a list. What are you talking about?
You couldn't remember this?
Food.
Oh, yeah, food.
Mexican food. Sonoran dogs.
Tell them what a Sonoran dog
A
is.
Sonoran dog is a hot dog wrapped in bacon and covered with a bunch of stuff.
Not just stuff, like relishes and mustards and mayonnaise, I think, a little bit.
But more importantly, it's wrapped in
It's
bacon.
wrapped in bacon. It's really good, really good. We enjoyed one for the last time we were out there in November, and yeah, highly recommend it. So
And Mexican food.
Mexican food, yeah. El Charro, I mean, hello.
Yep.
Anytime we'd go to Tucson, we'd always make sure to eat at El Charro's. We even bought their cookbook. I think we liked it
Yes,
so
we
much.
did. Never used it, but we bought it.
Well, because the only thing you can get out there is not the only thing you can get out there, but you like, I always get it wrong, not carne asada.
Carne seca.
And how do they do carne seca?
They dry it on the roof.
Because it's so hot. They dry their meat on the roof. And I know a certain friend of mine is probably thinking, oh no, salmonella. But no, it's all good. They do it good. Number 6, I cheated. I had to figure out what place we were. So we think because of the remote living and all the things that Tucson and Southwest has to offer, we have a good chance of doing a Vrbo opportunity or an Airbnb, especially when we get close to retirement, which I think is hopefully in about 10, 15 years. For you anyway, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. Fingers
Depends
crossed.
on how this recession goes.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, we'd like to be able to offer this type of experience to other people that would want to come out and share it with us. So that's what we want to do. Number 5.
Number 5 is protected wilderness. So the area that we bought into, and that includes the larger property and the house that we're moving to sight unseen, is
Grimace.
is all on this Hayhook area.
Hayhook Ranch.
Hayhook Ranch, and it is surrounded on the south by a water conservatory, so that is protected. On the
State land.
west side, it is federal land. That's the mountain and the mountain wilderness, and just north of that is an Indian reservation. So it's pretty well locked in as far as any possible developments that could happen. I think the acreage is restricted to a minimum of 4 acres per lot.
Per lot, right?
So we're pretty happy about that. We think that will also help protect the water supply there, because everyone there seems to be using well. So that is definitely something.
But we have
We're
plans
excited
to
about.
try to not do it well. The house that we bought sight unseen, Grimace, has a well, but it's very costly to dig a well. It's like, I think, a minimum 500 feet, and it's
Well, they quoted
40
us
feet?
30 to 40,000, and that was before all the prices went up.
Right. Yeah.
So
Grimace
I'm sure
again.
it's at least 50 by now.
Yeah, but we have plans to do things like water harvesting. So
But that's
we'll get into that.
That's for another talk.
Am I next?
Yep.
Okay, number 4, wildlife. Talk about wilderness. I mean, we're out there with the wildlife, so we're gonna hear the coyote. We might probably see them run through the backyard or front yard or side yard. Javelina, which I love to see. We saw them when we were out there the first time in the wilderness. The Gamble quail I also love, and I especially love to hear them. The jackrabbits are amazing. I mean, those things are they're like half their body height are ears.
And there's a lot of height.
There's a lot of height. Yeah, they're bigger than cats, I think. Just crazy.
Yeah, and the amazing thing to me is every time we've been out to Hay Hook Ranch, which is probably 2 or 3 times, so limited sample size, but every single time we've been there, we've seen a jackrabbit
And roadrunners.
Yeah.
No Gila monsters yet, but one of our friends.
We hear they're there.
One of our friends has, said a couple times she's seen them, had a couple of encounters. The Gila woodpeckers, definitely. They're all over there, especially on our sighting of the house, sight unseen right now. So, anyway, wildlife. We're pretty excited. Number 3.
Number 3 is landscape. So that's one of the reasons that we really like Arizona and Tucson in particular is, number 1, the saguaro cactus. Those are the cactus that you've seen with all the arms and the just the giant cactus that everybody thinks of in westerns and all that stuff, because that's where they shot a lot of westerns.
Was in Tucson.
Yep. Some of the other things are
Palo Verde,
mesquite trees.
Ocotillo.
I'm
Which
not
are
crazy about Ocotillo.
You don't like? Oh, they're very green. So that's one of the few things out there that are going to be green.
They've only been dead when I've seen them.
Well, just wait. There's green.
But besides just the cactus, there's also mountains. So we are right next to a mountain, which is pretty neat.
It's our backyard, which is absolutely breathtaking, and I hope it's just one of those things I never grow tired of seeing. There are some times when I'm driving here in Ohio and I'll see the clouds low to the horizon, and I'll just keep thinking, ooh, if those were mountains, those would be really cool. So,
and now we'll see them every morning when we wake up.
Yes, and go to sleep. And
so number 2.
Oh, number 2. Night sky. This is a really big one for me. I mean, obviously it's number 2, but we are out there just east of Kitt Peak, which is it's one of the national observatories, planetariums, and because it's out there, there has to be. It's not a planetarium. It's an
observatory.
That's what I meant, but I thought they had a planetarium.
They might.
They have a planetarium. It's a visitor. You visit there.
If you say so.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they have a planetarium.
I'll correct you even if you're not wrong.
Anyway, so because Kitt Peak is out there, they have to have minimum, absolutely no light pollution whatsoever, because the telescopes just can't function as well when there's light pollution. So, and plus I think there's an ordinance in Tucson anyway that they have to have, there's not a lot of light pollution allowed. So all of your house lights have to be pointing downwards. You can't have anything really extremely bright on the outside of your house.
So we'll never know where they're selling Christmas trees. I know.
You're so sad. We have Christmas out there in Southwest. We'll be fine. We'll have our Christmas tree. So yeah, night sky, which means from horizon to horizon, you see the entire sky. You can see the Milky Way with your naked eye, which I am so excited to see, because when I walk the dog at night here in Ohio, I can see just a vague whisper of the possibility of seeing it. So to be able to
see a lot of stars where we are.
We can, but there's tall trees, which we don't have out there.
True.
So, but we'll be able to see so many stars and planets, and I'm so excited to have the telescope out and just be able to watch the sky. So that was number 2. Here's our clock telling us it's almost time. Dun, da, da, da.
Weather. So I don't know about Lisa, but I got broken by the polar vortex several years ago, and I have not been the same since. So it broke me. I just can't take the cold anymore.
Oh, I can't either.
So I think what we used to say that was like November to April or something is like in the 70s.
In Tucson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. November. I mean, you're talking November, people. November, December, January, February, March, April. 5 months out of the year, it's in the 70s.
And then there's 2 other months where it's in the 80s, and then
October and the bordering
Right.
months. Yeah, October, May, October, April. 80s. Not
and
bad.
then they divide their seasons into 5s out there. And what that is a dry summer, which is the really hot summer,
Right.
and a wet summer, which is hot,
And
wet, and humid.
Right. But that's the monsoon season.
It actually does rain in the desert. And when it rains, it really rains.
And that's one of the things we're a little concerned about when we get out to Hayhook, because there are quite a few washes that are visible on the properties already, and we really want to study where those rainwaters go from the mountains, because
We would call those ditches here.
they're washes, and you need to not be in a wash when the rain comes, because it's just, look it up. I mean, YouTube it, it's crazy. And when it dries out, it's really deep sand, which that's a story for another time. But hush, that's a story for another time.
It's just like snow.
It's just like driving in snow.
So that's our top 10 list.
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Lisa, you want to take us out?
Sure. So 7 days, people. Did I forget to mention that? I don't think I did. I'm a little panicked because we still have a lot of packing to do. The trailer is here today, which is good. We've put a few things in there, which is good. We have a plan, but we just don't have a lot of time. So it'll get done. It'll get done.
It will get done.
It will get done. We have plenty of boxes. We have plenty of things to wrap. We have plenty of stuff to do. You're still working during the day, which is a little nerve-wracking, but we'll get through it. So yeah, next week this time we will be packing the RV and getting ready to pull out of the driveway and saying goodbye to South Charleston, so, in Ohio. But yeah, so until next time,
We're heading back to the dream.
you got it.
I did get it.
You got it.
Line.
We'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.
So until next time.
I forgot the line. Line.
Line and see.